summer break. A break for who? If you're pairing a child with ADHD, summer can feel less like a vacation and more like survival mode. Real quick, if you're already dreading summer and it hasn't even started yet, just type me in the comments. If this is you, I've got good news because in this video, I'm giving you the ADHD Summer Survival Guide you didn't know you needed. Now listen, summer break is supposed to be fun, but if you're raising a child with ADHD, you know that sometimes summer can actually feel even harder than the school year. Cue this picture. Kids bouncing off the walls, screen time battles, even before breakfast, and the endless cries of, "I'm bored." Confession time. I used to hate summer. Now, if you're new here, you might be wondering, who am I? I'm Dana Kay, a board-certified health and nutrition practitioner, and I specialize in helping families of kids with ADHD live their best lives naturally without medication. If you're the parent of a child with ADHD, you're definitely in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now let's dive into why summer can be extra challenging for kids with ADHD, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Now, during the school year, our kids have built-in routines, don't they? They wake up, they go to school, they do their homework, and when bedtime comes around, they dive in. But when summer hits, that structure completely disappears and ADHD brains struggle without structure. So here are a few key reasons summer feels harder. No structure equals emotional chaos. More free time equals endless screen battles. And boredom? Boredom doesn't just feel annoying to an ADHD brain, it feels like absolute torture. So what can we do about it? How can we help our kiddos? With a few simple tweaks to your daily routine, you can set up a summer that feels way more manageable and, dare I say it, even a little bit fun. You don't need a rigid minute-by-minute schedule. What you do need is a flexible, predictable framework. Now, there are several benefits of a summer routine for ADHD brains. It lowers anxiety. It makes transitions easier. It stabilizes sleep and moods, and it reduces emotional overwhelm. Flexible summer schedules can help with all of these things. Now, tell me in the comments, who else's kids turn into tornadoes when there's no schedule? Just drop a me if that's you. This is why flexible summer schedules can be so helpful. Okay, so let's build a summer schedule together that doesn't make you, want to pull your hair out. So here's a sample that saved my sanity, and it made my son's summer so much better. So take a look at this one on the screen. Right now, it's flexible, but also can help your child know what's coming next. There's movement built in, as well as free play and a limited amount of screen time. 7:30 to 8:30, we wake up and have breakfast. Make sure it's high protein. 8:30 to 9:30, we go outside and do some movement. 9:30 to 10:30, we can do some creative learning or project time. 10:30 to 11:30, it can be free play or sensory time. 11:30 to 12:30, lunch. 12:30 to 1 p.m, quiet time. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m, screen time. And then 2 to 4 p.m, outdoor time, errands, and an outing. When you get back home, you can do home chores and wind down, and then the evening dinner and bedtime routine. Now, here's a few key tips to keep in mind as you think about your own child's schedule. First of all, number one, you want to use a simple visual schedule. Kids with ADHD respond really well to visual cues, so having a schedule stuck to the fridge or a bulletin board could be really, really helpful. Number two, keep wake and sleep times consistent. Even on weekends. I know, summer sleep schedules are a total battle, but trust me, it's totally worth it to keep things as consistent as possible. Key tip number three, build in natural movement breaks. Exercise and movement are so important for kids with ADHD, so make sure your children get plenty of it during the day and during summer. Finally, tip number four, Always link screen time after quiet time for built-in incentives. You could use the when-then method and say something like this: when you finish your quiet time, then you can play on your Xbox. I call it earning their pixels for the day. It works like magic. Now, speaking of screens, let's be honest. Look, screens aren't all that bad. They're part of our world and they can be really fun. I mean, how many hours do you spend on your phone each day? I know I like to sometimes scroll at the end of a long day, so I totally get the pull toward a device. But screens, they're kind of like chocolate cake. You don't have to ban them. But too much, too early will lead to meltdown city for kids with ADHD. Unlimited screen time and ADHD do not mix well. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments if your child has a hard time balancing screen time. It's a pretty common problem amongst most families of kids with ADHD. So here are a few simple strategies to really set screen boundaries. First of all, set tech zones in the day, 1 to 2 p.m., not first thing in the morning. You can also use timers and visual schedules. And like I mentioned a second ago, pair screen time with either downtime or responsibilities. So first outdoor play, then screen time. I also recommend having screen-free boredom busters ready to go. Things like sensory bins, backyard games, sidewalk chalk, water play, Legos, or even scavenger hunts. Now let's talk about how to prevent meltdowns and dysregulation during summer, because even with the best laid plans, those moments are still going to happen. And that's okay, but there are things you can do to make the meltdowns less likely to happen. These tips I'm going to share, they were game changers in my house. And trust me, we learned the hard way. Use 5 to 10 minute warnings before transitions, especially when transitioning from a preferred activity to a less preferred one. Also, watch for sensory overload. So look for signs like sudden irritability, covering their ears or zoning out. And when you see that overload starting to happen, take a break from whatever activity is causing it. Stick to consistent sleep and meal times and build in quiet time every single day. And also, if you're not already done so, summer is the perfect time to adjust a child's diet. At school, you have much less control over what they're eating, but in the summer, when kids are at home more, you have much more control. So cut out those top inflammatory foods and really introduce more micronutrient-dense foods, healthy fats, grass-fed or wild-caught protein sources. I've talked about the diet that's ideal for kids with ADHD quite a bit on this channel and on my Soaring Child podcast, so I'll definitely add a couple of helpful links to the resources below. Now, for more information about how to adjust the diet to support a child with ADHD, make sure and check those out. Doing these things can really help bring down those meltdowns, but remember, when those meltdowns do happen, keep in mind they aren't bad behavior. They're your child's brain asking for help regulating. And keep in mind that even though summer might be messy, loud, and far from perfect, you're doing something amazing. You're building memories. You're giving your child the love, the structure, and the understanding they need most. And that's what they'll remember. They won't remember the chaos. Now, before you leave, tell me in the comments what part of summer do you find the hardest, or what strategies have helped you the most. I love to hear from you. Leave your comments below. I hope this video has been helpful and has given you some tips and tricks to implement into your summer routine. Now, if you're feeling even 10% less overwhelmed after watching this, share it with another ADHD parent who deserves a calmer summer too. With your help, we can share this message of hope far and wide. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.